Let's get this started. Nice tie. Did I tie it myself? I have no idea how long this tie has been tied. Haha. All right. This is the very beginning of this game. It's gonna be fantastic. Yes, okay. So, a light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. Wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of the sight of teachers and fellow students. What are you saying naked for? Ah, I can't use enter to... Is it space? I don't know. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. Naked branches. Ah, I gotcha. Okay, it is space. Hell yeah. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in the cold. How long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah, yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. Good thing Hisao does math. Good thing, because otherwise we would have never seen this note, but maybe that would be for the best. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker. More obvious. But at least this shows a bit of initiative. Yes, creeping into your math textbook. Great. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snow gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Jesus. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. All right, we got some we got some sound effects. The rustling of the dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Ooh, spooky. I think it's a cat back there. Hi, Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. Ooh. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams. Ooh. And my heart begins to race. The voice of my dreams? Hell yeah! You wanna go? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Hisao isn't that much of a creep. Come on, he's not that bad. Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. God damn it, Hisao. What are you doing? Pathetic. Um, yeah, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. I love this voice only by eavesdropping? What? Okay. I don't. Okay. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Wow. Okay. Whoosh. Uh-oh. What's this? Panic. My heart is pounding now as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Now that's creepy. Here we go. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Whatever that means, okay. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of the wind. She is wearing a skirt, and it is snowing. No thanks. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine as she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. Okay, she's wearing a skirt, but he's wearing a frickin' sweater. Like, she can wear some pants, right? Pants are good. I like pants. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know, if you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feels like they've been stretched out beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try and massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao? Uh-oh. My whole body freezes, save for my eyes. They like to say save for my blank, which shoot and that's not that's not regular. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops. I go weak at the knees. You noticed? Okay. That's not good. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for the help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. He's out, die. Visual novel over. All done. Good stream. Bye. Good Let's Play crew. Four Leaf Studios presents Katawa Shoujo. Starring me, Sal. I can't skip this, so we get to watch the credits. Ah, yes, writing by Anonymous22, my favorite person. This is very dramatic. Look at this, all this hospital stuff. Lots of white, lots of needles. Love it. I absolutely love it. Yeesh. FMV? What the heck is FMV? You know, for a 4chan game organized by God knows who, this looks really pretty. Oh, FMV is full motion video. Probably this right here. Miki does the opposite of love needles. I hate them so much. Alright, it's been 4 months since my heart attack. Life's good. I'm doing fantastic. Lol JK. Look at my hospital room. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital unsupervised on one hand. Oof. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign alien one. One that you wouldn't want to be in the same room with. You know, that's kind of ableist, Hisao. A rare condition, it causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Sweet Christ. I already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. I don't think you can cure that. No. Oh, of course there isn't a cure. Yeah, well, yeah. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. Game over, he dies. Murica, sell house for hospital stay. Yikes. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I'd gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had turned into a class project. Gotta love that. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came on a regular basis. This grief effort expects everyone to be sending him shit. you know, first time in the hospital, who knows? I don't know. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. She probably felt real guilty. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. Sad. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. Well, that sucks. You're there. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. Oh, that's not. No. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations were low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there's at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. What? How? Where do you get your entertainment? I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. Okay, that's okay. There was a small library at the hospital. Although it was more like a storeroom for books, I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That's what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. You know, that happens to me sometimes too, don't worry about it. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I'd set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness of my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. I believe that would be called an anxiety attack, right? Yeah? Either that or you're about to die again. But that only happened rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There's this ritual that the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine, and he looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How you doing today? I don't answer him, but I smile back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. One prescription, okay? The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. Okay, so it's one piece with many prescriptions. Makes more sense. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? You weren't doing them already? Surely you would have been. Oh, hi, Flea. The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. Alright. I don't know any of these, but I feel like bronchospasm is something to do with your lungs and not your heart. You never know. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, is that supposed to say contradictions? I don't know. And dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting only makes me feel sicker. After all this, for the rest of my life? Every day? I'm afraid that's the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please, calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Oh, that would Nope. Boy, you got some, you got some news coming. I accidentally skipped that. Whoops. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure your medication is suitable. Should have been doing that in the hospital. So, I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that. If it really was that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearly a selling point. You're mad at Hisao right now? Well, he's just salty. He wants to go to normal people school and live a normal people life now that he has a heart disease. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. No homeschooling. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I don't really have a choice. Compared to the other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. Good news, Lebowski, you're going to live a long life. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue with your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school. That's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. And many of the graduates at the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. It's kind of true. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I thought about my life as I had always thought about my words. I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell something out now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact that I know now is futile. I look around the room feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to disabled school? What are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's really difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would make a mistake just to resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I try to see what my new life will look like. Alright, let's go to disabled people's school. Let's go. Act 1, Life Expectancy. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school would look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Probably no. That looks real fancy. That looks like fancy people house. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. Moving forward feels good. Hey, Karma, welcome back. And hello, Spiza. I don't think I said hi. Sweet Christ, that was loud. Thank you, Lebowski, for the sub. I'm glad you're enjoying your your disability as a visual novel. Was that Gavin? That was Gavin. The grounds are incredibly lush and filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past the trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all the other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. Hospitals. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. Speaking of telling yourself things, you should tell me who we're gonna go for first. We'll, if you don't know them, we'll be introduced to them very, very shortly. But you could also, Google them. A few big buildings loom as the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought than what I thought I knew about schools. What do you mean? You went to a school, Hisao. This is school. School is not new. You almost died at school. This is just a different school. It's still school. It's an uncanny valley, even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. You think we should do Shizune? We'll see. He's saying it's different. Okay. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. Okay. Why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. Do Kenji first? Ooh, that's a good idea. It was the last chance I had to turn my back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous with all this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. Oh, this wig is really tight on my head. I'm gonna loosen it a little bit. I don't think that's gonna change much, though. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be Niki? Manly picnic or bust. Alright. Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom teacher and your science teacher. My name is Muto. Where in the heck? What? This... There we go. The clip didn't want to come undone. Alright. I'll just be Omega loose. That's okay. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked for you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Yeah, Spiza, you Quebec. It's a thing. Maybe like August or something? There's a nice little convention called Otakuthon that I like that convention. It's a good convention. So I figured this is a good opportunity. I got places to stay. Lebowski might drive up so I could go with him. We could split costs that way. It'll be great. Alright. Gotta get my teacher voice. I don't know what a teacher voice is. Oh, hello, Electro. You just came out of nowhere. Alright, yes, this afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Ooh, here we go. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. This guy looks like the guy from Steins Gate. He does! Ah! Oh no, Spiza! It's 1 week before your contract. Oh no. What luck. So sad. Somehow not knowing what's waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Why is this grayed out? Oh, my mouse was over it. Clearly we need to introduce ourselves to the class because we need to meet all the girls that we're gonna hook up with, right? He does look like Okabe a whole lot. He does. He does. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everybody likes to be at the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. He looks more depressed somehow than Okabe. Sure. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go. He's Mario now. My heart is pounding in my chest and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow my teacher up the stairs. The third door on the third floor corridor is marked with the classroom for class 3-3. These sound effects are way too loud. Let me just turn those down a little bit. Alright. Ucho opens the doors and enters. Okay, see you, Spiza. Good luck planting some trees or whatever you're doing. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Uh-oh. Get a grip. This is a big step. You know what? I know that. But there isn't any point in worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. Ooh, look at all these people. These aren't people that I recognize. I mean, what? This is my first time playing this game. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I don't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's a lot of space left over around and in between the classes. The desks. A wall entirely taken up by blackboards and the high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. That sounds uncomfortable. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students from any other school. But then why would they be here? Yes, they look normal. Good. Do we know how old the main character is? High school. I assume he's in high school, but I don't know. They're probably like me. They have something wrong with them, only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when somebody's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I just had a thought. Oh, we'll get it later. I notice a flash of dark hair and someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair is pretty eye-catching, and she seems to be looking back at her as she covers her face with her hands as if to make her invisible. 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 There's a boy with a cane leaning against the lockers of the rear in the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rim of her glasses and then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is the cheery-looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. Aha, so it's this one and this one. Suspicious. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our new classmate. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little bit, but without... I shouldn't be laughing. But hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai, and after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. Miki starting... What? Miki starting 8:27:19. Are you losing? You are losing all my attention. What are you talking about? Okay, I'm confused. Sean, you're confusing me. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. Oh, starting. Okay, World. Oh, I gotcha. World of Warcraft. Thrilling. I haven't played it either. I'm playing Katawa Shoujo. It's much better, I'm sure. I end up saying nothing and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with a little of what I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. Could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep along the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. That sounds like a weird thing to do. Why are you clapping your hands? You just one clap, or you like clapping? Like, why are you clapping for your teacher? The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist, and that ends in a. I'm gonna. Words are really hard all of a sudden. It makes me feel a little bad. Because she's got no hand? What are you gonna do? Give her a hand? You gonna help her? You gonna give her a hand? Oh, I missed that again. Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She's the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else might be able to do that better, right? How could I know? Teacher passes out the daily assignments and announces that we'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. All right, Hakamichi's right there. Shizune Hakamichi. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shi-chan? Okay. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she's acknowledged my presence. But only barely. It's kind of loud. Is the audio kind of loud for you guys? Like the background compared to my voice? Turn it down a tiny bit. She also has short yet carefully neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of her dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. Nice. Okay, audio's good. Good. It's nice to meet you. Hey, I don't have to come up with a voice for her. She's deaf. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying like things you'll be able to talk to people, and who better to explain things to you. Terrible. I can see you're a little confused, right? But I understand why you'd think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you, too. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right. He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon. He-chan, right? He-chan. Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Okay. Did I say that out loud? It's just a surprise. I never liked that nickname. Oh, he's had that nickname before. Flea, have you not played Katawa Shoujo at all before? I don't think you have you? I think we talked about it. I don't really see how. It fits! You look just like I imagined. Gotta adjust my glasses. Hang on. Yeah, you look just like a He-chan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. You didn't get far? Okay. That's alright. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. She-chan wants to know that She-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to the class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you get there. Not just with school, either. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shi-chan? Learn about where you're going? I guess I didn't bother to do that. Or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it. Half-assedly, but anyway. I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? Seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong... Oh, wrong voice. Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Oh, that's depressing. Ah ha 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 ha. I always imagined she'd be the kind of one that went like this and laughed. You know, those ones? Yeah. Alright. Ah, and another thing. You don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Can we not do that? Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate? Yep, Shizune's fine. Okay, that'd be a lot easier for me. Is it, though? I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier, especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. How did you forget about Shizune? She's like one of the first people that you meet. Well, she still seems like that. Just less so, I guess. I mean, I guess it's pretty easy to forget if she doesn't talk. Oh, right, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now or Shi-chan will get mad. One of the first people you ignore. Oh, no. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. My nose is itchy. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? Lebowski, you've played this more than once? I mean, I've played it... I haven't played the whole thing through. I've only played 2 routes through. Emi and Rin. And Kenji, but I don't know if I count Kenji. The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. I also played this like 6 years ago, so I don't really remember that much. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than everyone else in the class despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did the most work. I feel guilty about that. Okay, good. I forgot about that. I was gonna do that earlier. Rin is overrated. Alright, listen here. Rin is best, girl. I will fight you. To be honest, the two of them did the most work. I feel guilty about that. I think I already read that. The clock tower bells ring, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who's beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything else, everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! What? No way! This is a cafeteria? Shit. I thought this was the library. Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious made people around us stare, but Misha didn't seem to care, so we proceeded to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. The library has bacon, girl! Oh, Jesus. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to the table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand the sign, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is more proper and polite? You want to know something? What? About anything. We're your guides, so you should ask if there's something. Oh. I wonder. Ooh. Let us save here. Alright. Hey, the library. We could go visit Bacon Girl. Poor girl. So we could talk to Shizune. We could wander off on our own, or we could ask about the library. Hmm. I don't know which girl we were gonna go for first. I didn't get that far ahead. I kind of forgot. Not gonna lie. Maybe we'll go see who's in the library. Oh, well. This is why we save. Let's ask about her deafness. Shizune intrigues me, and I kind of want to ask something about her. But I can't really just ask about something that personal, can I? I can't come up with anything else to ask, so I just focus on my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth, and very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Oof. Maybe they're talking about some secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice the conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. Shocker. The option is to ask about deafness, and then he doesn't ask anything. Yeah. What happened? We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk in the last row. Oh, look. It's her. She jumps a little when Amisha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. Nice. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if we're slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind as they walk directly past her to the seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students, and finally, the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of the schools feels strange, as if my brain remembers how it's done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. I feel like that would happen because you don't move in the hospital and then suddenly you move. Crazy. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Yay. Besides me, Misha and Shizune are having a sort of conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hee-chan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Oh, wait, the teacher said I had to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. Okay. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out their senior classrooms in the hallway as ours, in the same hallway as ours. Okay. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. Outside! Who goes outside? It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. Ooh, swimming pool. How is that official? Don't be silly, Hee-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. Bye. Save me. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with actual education? Guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in, hoping that this will really only be a quick visit like the teacher said. This looks like an underground, old-ass building. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text that said head nurse as a nameplate. A voice from inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large and smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cups. Coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. You should wipe off your desk, man. Hello there. What can I do for you today? They named him Smiling Man. He's a young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples on his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. This is not a man that looks rugged. This man looks like he couldn't hurt a caterpillar. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who's heard this very same question hundreds of times. Yes, I'm the nurse. Why, yes, I am. It says on the door. No? This music is way too sexy for this guy. I didn't think this music was sexy, but I guess it's got a saxophone, so why not? You can call me by my name, or just the nurse, like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I should probably grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm the new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes light up with a revelation, and he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai! I was just reading your file in this morning. What? Reading your file in? Oh, in the morning. Okay. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? Totally. He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Look at that wink with that smile. Danger. It's like that meme. It's like everything is okay, but that smile, that damn smile. I also saw that same meme with Flea's face. It was pretty funny. Good, well you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels sort of out of place, and I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just it's really weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know. Now, let me find your file again. Oh yeah, Flea, I think Electro made it. Pretty sure Electro made it. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminate flooring, and all the equipment you expect from a school nurse's office. You remember that meme? With Flea and the smile? I'm pretty sure it's you. It was either you or Azuma, but I'm pretty sure it was you. Yeah, it was you. Okay. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly, 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports, rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. Oh, my lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really I'm not too bothered by him permitting me to kick a ball around. Permitting? Did I say permitting? I meant to say forbidding. I guess I never did it out of a burning passion for the sport. Just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous for your heart. Are those two things connected? Concussions and heart problems? Whatever. And risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? Oh, he means like a hit. Not like in your brain. There's no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I'd sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks, or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe? There's a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care and not overexert yourself. He sounds empathy is concerning. Yeah, a little bit. He wags his finger to emphasize, not sympathize, the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. What? You mean I have to take care of myself? Shit. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good. That's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. Cool. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school going towards the gates or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going. I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? Does it make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the keys I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the interior of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside are a few students watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. Mm-hmm. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of the minor halls seem to have a toilet and a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there's just 2 of us here. The light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements and then the clicking of way more locks than I thought the store had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick glasses. This school seems pretty chill. Yeah. Ooh. What voice does Kenji get? Who is that? Blind? No, at least not completely. Who would have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Who is this hottie? Oh, look at this hottie. He sounded like hi. Oh boy, my throat. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I'd introduce my... His face suddenly brightens in realization. He stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight into my diaphragm. Sounds great. Oh, sup, dude? My name's Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it. It's still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. Wait, this is 4chan self-insert. You're probably right. There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? 'Cause they could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. Yeah, he's totally 4chan self-insert. You're a brave man, he Sal. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you are smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope's not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. That was a bold transition. Bleak beige walls, white linen, and a desk made of some type of light wood. Ugly curtains. It's no one's room. Impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Why didn't you leave it on the bed? Hi, Hee-chan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Cute. Why don't they just put the note on his bed or something instead of pinning it to a sleeve? Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have. Then there would have been something to do. It's still too early. I put the note on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I should go to the library. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming, and for the entire day too. Day today too. I still think I am. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be unnatural all this time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. You do not buy books at the library. It's not how the library works. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, drugs. The bottle of medications is neatly arranged on my night table to catch my eye. I pick one up and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. I guess, yeah, you can't buy books from the library, but that's not the idea. Hisao Nakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. Nice! It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. Alright. It's kind of twisted, having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. Dude, you should get one of them things you just put them all in and you just open it up and then just do everything. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. Yeah, the weekday pill spacers, those kind of things. You should get one of those. It would be very useful. No reading, just swallowing pills. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after the darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness and unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. Look at that, first day done. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I'd forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the 3rd room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who's supposed to be the one living here. My bag's on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from the foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. Feels like a school uniform as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for the other things too. So far this place seems more or less like a normal school. Wow, normal school! Except for the people. Never mind. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. There's probably clubs. All through class, the question remains in my mind, so I decide to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should just ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfectly flat and even. It's not what the words say, but that's what I said. Works out. Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, He-chan. My first thought is that she means she doesn't know, which is worrying, but maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha doesn't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. Oh, okay. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know, Hee-chan. The truth is it's a local event and I'm not from the area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose? I don't know, flourish, and starts signing hard and heavy. Oh, here we go. Huh? Oh. Who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me from a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideas and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Now it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you get to play to win prizes. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Oh boy! What year is this? Is he gonna beat the students? Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though brushing it off without a care. This wording is strange sometimes. We're in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Shi-chan. What? That's right. He-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchanged between them. Misha's tone has also changed, although it doesn't seem although it does that every other word anyway. Is that foreshadowing? Wait, which part was foreshadowing? The club? I missed it. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working with any other group. Everything is foreshadowing. No one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who is also looking at the dark-haired girl too. Why doesn't he say anything? They're all mute. He-chan, is something... He-chan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or maybe it was Misha just looking at me after the girl who left. No, nothing. Okay, well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to, why doesn't it say the name? I thought I'd go to the library and pick up some books. Oh. It was a thought. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay! Okay, He-chan, perfect. Misha. The rest of the class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks a little more annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all our work on time. I'm glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. Yes, it is, He-chan. Impossible. Really? Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what everyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and mine. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune? I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me. But it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing, and will take some time to get used to. Poor Hisao, he's so confused. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. There's no prize on the line, so it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you sure, He-chan? Very sure. You're wrong, He-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Okay. I'm not going to try to do her laugh. Shizune pushes her glasses up to the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings as she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I'd almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? That's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I liked to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until nearly the end of my freshman year. The hell's a freshman year? Yo, we got any Americans in the chat? I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Oh, freshman year is 9th grade. Okay, cool. That's pretty early in your high school career. Shizune and Misha pulled me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Well, I knew senior. I didn't know the rest. Fresh makes sense. You're first. New. Maybe some of the students eating in favor of in-classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. Where the heck did they get those? After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So, He-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right. Right, Chi-chan. Okay. I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. He-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Chi-chan? Right, but it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, He-chan, it's a really popular club. Ah, okay, but more to the point, He-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good, great, that's great, He-chan, really great. What? The literature club. Oh yeah, the literature club. That's great with all those people whose names I forget and Monica. Oh, that's a whole other thing, dude. You missed that. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, He-chan, other than clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council! Oh, that sounds so exciting! Let's join! I see. I didn't know this school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha's laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Right, right. Ichan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yeah, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hichan. Shichan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shichan is the president. Hmm. I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk with about this. Shizune, he wants Hisao in the council. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that. No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hichan, of course it would be nice if you joined, and we'd appreciate that. But even without that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hichan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hichan? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they already looked pretty cute to begin with. Hmm. Well, so it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hichan. What? No. Aw, see, Hichan? Of course it wasn't gonna go so easily. Yep, that's right though. It would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well. Hichan owes me candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game over here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. That's interesting. Hichan, let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hichan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I'll have to decline. Hichan, I'm very offended. Are you saying that you don't trust us and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. In order to atone for hunting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. What? I ain't hurt no young girl's feelings. Excuse me. What? Whose feelings do we hurt? No. How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle and then you try and shoot it past the goalposts, and the other players make with their fingers. It's this thing, right? Something like that. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hichan. Ultimate form. Yeah, okay. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children. Shichan? That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. They play it in Endgame, do they actually? More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not gonna play that either. Just the fact that you two already know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hichan? Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me to join the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, he. Okay, He-chan, how about Risk, the game of world domination? I don't know what that is. Paper football, not a common game? I don't think it's a common game. I've only ever seen it played once, and that was in high school. I have no idea why they were playing it. It's really fun, He-chan. You get to fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Really, Shi-chan? We could just play for fun, He-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there's no strings attached. Yeah, Risk is a super long game. Well, okay. I used to play it at Scout Camp. You had a lot of time to kill. Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, He-chan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. I grimaced to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete, just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. Oh, goodbye. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice. Or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. Ooh, Flea's good at Risk, confirmed. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're already on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. Fantastic. What's wrong, He-chan? That's right, we're just gonna play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha. This seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, He-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's very plain, a sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center, surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed at the back. I assume that's Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer, just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. It's a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing is that room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Yeah, that's right. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hey-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares that the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Chaw! Are they the only two members? I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. I think I don't know. When I played Rin and Emmy's routes, I don't remember this happening at all. I tried to start to play Shizune's route, and I remember this, but I did not get much further. So I'm totally blind right now. Haha. Yes, I'm blind at a disabled school. It's totally appropriate. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more and more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, when I tried to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Hey Chan, Shi-chan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Shizune's the worst girl, don't at you? Jeez. Shi-chan also says that she'll let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous? Magnanimous? She doesn't seem to know what that word means or how it's signed. She pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who returns signs back to Misha. Hello, sad hairstyler. How you doing? Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait. Please slow down, Shi-chan. Shi-chan says that you're going to lose. Well, tell her I'll crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes first shine with a childlike mischief. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. Okay, let's save. Dun, 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 dun. What do the saves look like? Okay. Alright. Do we attack or do we defend? Ugh, one of these will let us go down Shizune's route and the other one I have no idea. Attack? I don't know. Anybody else still in here? There's a couple of people. Defend? Uh-oh. We're at a 50-50. What are we gonna do? Is this the first option? Something like that? There was another one earlier on. It was like, do you go to the library? Do you ask Shizune if she's deaf? Or do you just go? Oh. Right, Flea is he is the risk master. Defending has the advantage. Maybe we should defend. We can always come back. I saved it. See? You can just click here and it'll take us back. Let's defend. We'll have the advantage. It's likely that she's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense setup, and I'm not gonna wreck it doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyway. Darn. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist up in the air in celebration. Flea, you lost. What were you doing? Lebowski lost too. I don't know what happens if you do the other one. You might still lose for all I know. He-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, Shi-chan, Not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5 army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. She knows what's up. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, Hee-chan. You play your needs to be more daring. Ambition, ambition. I guess we should have attacked. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Hee-chan. You didn't take enough risks, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, Hee-chan. Oh, rip the Shizune path? Oh well, we'll get somebody else. Damn, what's it to her if I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. I wonder if you'd even be any good at for the student council. Oh. I wonder if you'd even be good for the student council. What's this? Reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining in or not in that case. Giving up just like that? I expected more of you. Seriously, is Shizune trying to taunt me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. And these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide. Really, Hee-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better? Yeah, I'm just not sure that I want to. Aww. Okay, Hee-chan, we're not gonna give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more Risk, and maybe one day you could beat me. Unless we graduate before that. Woof! Somebody's confident. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Surely you're not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game, you know then, and to give you a handicap. I might have just said that. I might have said that just to make you feel better after all. You think the girl with the glasses is cute? That's Shizune. This one right here. I also just realized that my mouse has been in the screen for the whole time. Sorry. Aw, that's cold, Hee-chan. I take a glance at the clock on the wall, and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. The game takes forever. What'd you expect? Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Chi-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the 2nd floor. You can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? Official Beat Saber level editor was just announced on Twitter. Wasn't it announced like an hour and a half ago? Okay, see you, Saturn Styler. Hope you enjoyed. I think Electro posted it in general. There was like a whole article about how they're going from early access to full release. It wasn't on Twitter. Bye bye. One flight upstairs, then I run into problems. The 2nd floor hallway is a carbon copy of the 3rd one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other, unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, just barely ajar, so I can see it's open and nothing else. Oh, I know who we're about to meet. It would make sense for the library's door to be so invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. God, words are hard. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. Lebowski. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arms ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside the words, "Hello?" Oh, this isn't who I expected. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway, staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes but doesn't look at me. "Hello there. May I help you?" I need more water. I'm almost out. Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seems to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that seems to remind me she's being separate from the room itself. That didn't make sense. I probably read it wrong. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kinda lost." "You just read the article? Good." She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Hisao the Charmer. Yeah, new character. Care to take it? I don't know what she looks like. She's calm, right? She needs a really calm voice. Care to take a seat? Maybe? Maybe. Unexpected considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. She drinks tea and sits still. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I slowly step towards another seat opposite of her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight cloudiness in her eyes, means that she might be at least partially blind, like Kenji. She's secretly a princess. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat... Okay, wait, hold on. You've got the American school system in Japan? Sure. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. Oh shit, it's the best girl time? Is she though? I don't know. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. You guys. I take it you're a new I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling in my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed a dozen of times before. Where are we right now? We are in a random room on the second floor of the school. The door was kind of open while we were looking for the library, so we went in, thinking it might be the library. As I lean sideways to see around her back, She seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see different disabilities in the students in my class, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to find workarounds, and I accidentally skipped that. Whoops. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her voice softly brings out my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and Misha, I mean some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods. A small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicate it being stirred. I'm well aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? You can't watch or hear from stuff. Aw, thanks. Here we go. That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite the character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. Ooh. Oh, what? As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems to like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Work comes first. Yeah, that would. Nonetheless, this smells quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. This tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try to ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. She is really nice. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Miki best girl, Hisao best boy. Yes. I mean, sorry, because he said I see. I feel like slapping myself for that faux pas, looking at her face, though she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Uh, sure, sorry, I guess I'm really slow, new. My environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. Oh, an environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Oh, so proud. When I see meese, I think mooses. That's exactly what you're supposed to be seeing. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get some more water. I'm gonna mute myself, and I should probably make a little thing. Hold on. Make some text in case anybody happens to join. Ah, I have one. Add. Dum da da dum. Be right back. Beautiful. And then mute this. Okay. Quick break. And we'll just get this thing out of the way. There we go. You should get some pizza from the pizza man. Did you show the pizza man that thing? That clip? It's pretty funny. Alright. Oh, he can't hear. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. Azuma is Shizune. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. Okay, here, hold on. Let's just let's listen to that as a group because it's fantastic. Pizza's here. I'm the pizza man. Oh, that's so good. Who is that? Who could that be? Surely you know that's you. Okay. You don't remember? That was when you were playing Emily Wants to Play at the arcade. You went into the room and you closed the door and you were like, your pizza's here. I'm the pizza man." Oh, it was so funny. Okay. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Hold on, I'm doing a thing. 375. There we go. You need to watch the video? Oh man, it's so good. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost the complete opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as art and music clubs. Why does it put a comma before though? Bothers me. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. Welcome back, Electro. As I look over the window to over her look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. The music did just pick up a little. I'm gonna turn that down a touch. There. That should be a little better. It just looks like the sun is starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have just lost track of time. Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. Okay. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays. What? The sun sets before 6:30? They're wearing summer uniforms. Okay. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It's my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's all right. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. Music picked up because Lily is the best girl. Okay. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to say no. I'm sure that's what that said. I don't know. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of the straight retractable cane that has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. You guys. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door of the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library with a distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old-world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Aww. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Uh-oh, she needs a voice too. Hi, Lily. How can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk while I was looking for it. A pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you alright? Oh. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, things have happened. Worse things have happened. The girl fidgets. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message. Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived? Right, they finally came. I can't believe they took so long, but amidst her celebrations, partially for managing To change the topic, I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's... Oh, my nose is so itchy today. What the heck? Lily's innocent suggestions is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. You're in charge of the library. It's How it's any responsibility at all, I don't get it. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But, oh, but, so there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work partially, as Yuko seems to, not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about the third or fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize them and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they weigh so much. I wish I could quit this job. Oof. Oof. That's rough, bud. A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I'd like to have those books if it were all right with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but it's what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lily in snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach out to the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks, set up for study or personal reading. Going a bit further through, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has an odd student... What? While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk or reading stealthily or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much destroyed. Deserted, not destroyed. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting at one of the several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. Rip the library, it's been destroyed. Did it catch fire? Oh no. Ah. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her up close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third, if not half, is badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I am shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hands before realizing that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember that I walked up to her. And we save. Okay. So, do we introduce ourselves or do we say we didn't mean to startle because, whoops, we did that? I think that each of these first questions are how you get in, like, to the girls' routes. And we didn't get into Shizune's. I don't think we had a question with Lily. And this is hers. I feel like if we introduce ourselves, that might scare her more because she seems like the person that's kind of scared of everything. Yeah, I agree. We should apologize. Uh-oh, we've got contrasting opinions. What are we gonna do? Okay, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Mm. It's okay. What kind of voice would she have? This girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods just a little. Okay. Life of Pi. Never heard of that. Come on. So, sorry again for startling you. I'm Yusao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We're in the same class. Her speech is stilted, stilted, whatever, and so quiet that it's barely audible even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her is wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say that's a nice name, just to have something to say, but really it's the only thing that I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, and here I am, being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. Oh, maybe we picked the right one. So I just tried to read the covers and the introductions of the books I picked up, and she buries her face in a book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. Maybe not. Maybe not the right decision. My eyes still wander to her direction, and I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scars it's hiding. After a while, I realize that she's doing the same and only pretending to be immersed in Life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all, though. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I, 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 I gotta go do something. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you, notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long, dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I'd better try to find her. Sure. I'll just hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Alright, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing. I was just looking for some books to read, and then she got this fit and ran off. The most offending thing I can think of was that I might have looked in her general direction a few times. Well, she's a very timid girl. You have to be careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think. It's not just... And she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder. It's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't seem that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casual only makes me a phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looks like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think that's an elephant only if you feel that way. That wasn't the right voice. Whoops. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily. Yuko #1. Is everyone #1 to you, Lebowski? Because that's what it seems like. What? Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. What? Isn't it supposed to be the opposite? Oh, whatever. Neither of us have anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desks really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not inconvenient for you. Oh, yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself with that too, honestly. At least when I think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I kinda just started reading books to fill that time. Couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't really say anything else. She just checks out my books for me. I guess it's what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I trawl my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? Wait. I did that wrong last time. Whatever. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we met before. Yesterday. I don't think so. I remember someone who I only met yesterday. When was that? What is today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How did you know my name? Damn! This can only mean one of two things. Either we have met and you're telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you're a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to maniac in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Oh, Christ. Kenji points a finger in my face damningly. Unlike you! Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. If you think you can pass as Hisao because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. Does he have memory loss? He has. Stupid. Kenji is... This is Kenji. I don't know what else to explain. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance. But who do you think you're kidding? Kenji is our special boy. I want to grab him by the shoulders, shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there. Oh. Stay there! Kenji comes closer. One careful step at a time, I stay still. At least, lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. Oh, wait. I see it now. Damn, it really is you. Sighing again, I once again aim for... Sighing again, and then once again for good measure, I step backwards just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong? I don't know. Just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually. Even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on the people here. I have no idea if it's because of me or them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. That's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we live in. God, my throat is gonna fall apart. We haven't even met everyone yet. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. You see, that's how it is this world. There's no justice. You see, even when I lose, I win, because I don't lose the lesson. What? What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? God. Kenji. It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally, too. She actually ran away from me. It was my fault, really, I think. I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl? A cute one? Cute? That's a hard question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face? I guess it could go either way. Oh. Hold on. Save. Continue. Okay. Hanako, is she cute or she's not cute? I think she's cute. What are we gonna say, guys? She's gotta be cute, right? She's gotta be. She's pretty cute. She's pretty cute. Okay, she's cute. Yeah, cute, I guess. I knew it! There are a lot of cute girls here. Strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of the school. Whoever thinks she's not cute is not human. Hello. Oh, how do I say your name? Otolindami? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I feel like you may have been lurking, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Yeah, dark secrets. Extremely dark, like a black hole. Have you noticed that the number of girls in the school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. It's almost like real life. He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be bad, but it's a full 20%. Oh, hey, Sausage, how you doing? You're here for the pizza until Flea delivers. Yeah, he delivers across coast. One would think that a school with such a large pool of women would be a man's dream. But no! Fox Marth is a 60-40, guys girls is 60-40? I don't know what you're saying, but okay. What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready? I don't know where he's going, but I think I wouldn't miss much by cutting out now. Don't quit delivering. No, I am not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe that this school is a battleground, a site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In the case this Cold War turns hot, they will have superiority in numbers.
Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the buildup of a military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, but the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They're so cunning, as expected of women. Soon, the day will come when... Kenji's voice trails off ominously. That's why you can't trust them. They'll string you along and then kill you, just as they killed me. You'll end up just like me. Kenji, you're not dead. You're insane. Oh, hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out. Hey, what does that mean? You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of. So, you're not supposed to say something like that? Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh, yes, fast feminist conspiracy. Stop it, stop. I lost you way back there somewhere. Somewhere around feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow? It's cool. I have some graphs and stuff in my room and a puppet. You like puppets? No puppets. You don't like puppets. Okay. Graphs are still cool though, right? He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. Got the Kenji down pat. I got the hand movements. You got the Oh, hello, Sensei Tadpole. How you doing? Thank you for the raid. This is too strange. I had him pegged as relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong. Something on your mind, dude? I was just thinking about what it's like to be the last sane man in the world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That is my dream. You can't just steal a man's dream. What the hell? There can't be two last sane men. That would invalidate the whole last part, and that part is kind of important. There could only be one. Like in that foreign movie where there could only be one, and in the end there's only one dude left because that was the point. I've never seen anyone talk so hardly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before. Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my graphs, and I have a list of other dark and complex conspiracies that this school holds, as tangled as... Quick, flash my analogy for me. Be a pal. Finish my analogy. I'm going to bed now. It's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand that what I'm talking about, but when I'm trying to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them, denial is a terrible thing. Later. God. Man, I'm dropping out of Hogwarts was not a smart choice for Harry. I mean Kenji. Oh, snap. I need a drink after that. Ooh, that voice hurts my throat, but damn, it's funny. He claps me on the back and then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly, it's like he didn't even open the door, but just instead walked right through it like a ghost. INB4, Kenji is a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what happens, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes and falling face first into bed. It takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are so cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels good just laying here with my eyes closed. This school is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony. One would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing on my empty walls. Hisao is mean. Hisao is pretty brutal, on himself especially, but yeah.
I guess it's not bad as I expected, though. This place is really more of a school and less a hospital, pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. Although we are only 2.5 hours into this game. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I open one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is as much like a normal school after all. Ooh, that's another day down. We're 2 days in, boys. I feel very tired this morning. Probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I start doing the work as instructed from the board. It already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now, though. Shizune and Misha might jump on me trying to get an answer about whether or not I've decided to join the student council, even if it's just for one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try. I don't even have an answer for them if they do. So this situation is convenient for me. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateness. He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break into groups again. I turn my head and see that Shizune and Misha are looking at me. Shizune gives me a smile and equal parts cute and menacing. This is a smile that says, "We have you now. There's no escape."
Hee-chan, it looks like we're together again. Yay, yay!
Misha leans sideways while Shizune pushes her desk closer to mine. There really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. Jumping out the window isn't the best option, really.
What's wrong, Hee-chan? Oh, Hee-chan, have you been thinking about what we said yesterday? You said that you'd think about joining the student council, didn't you? It's okay, Hee-chan. We were talking about it after you left. It would be rude to expect you to already have an answer for us this early, right? Right.
I'm so happy you two are able to laugh at my expense, and even more pleased to know that you'll both know how crazy the two of you can be. Now that it's over, Shizune snaps back into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand as an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at the stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there's only 2 problems. I almost want to say something about how her rush to get started seems a bit much considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant, and she approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, I let my eyes wander around the room and catch Hanako trying her hand at solving the problems. So it looks like she's working alone. I remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she was, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there.
Huh? Who, Hee-chan?
Her, Hanako, over there. Does she always work alone?
I think so, Hee-chan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone?
I was just thinking that maybe she could work with us or something.
No, I don't think that would be a good idea, Hee-chan.
Why not?
Shi-chan wouldn't get along with her.
Why? Misha shuffles around the question, letting out a laugh. That sounds very strange. It's nervous, but it still has that tilting up and down quality. Whatever. Present in everything she says.
Just because, Hee-chan.
By now, Shizune has noticed our conversation, and it makes me realize again how Misha has been signing everything and how she's been saying this the whole time.
What, Shi-chan? The friend of the enemy is my enemy? That sounds so harsh. I'm not gonna say that.
You said it anyway.
I know, Hee-chan. It's fine if you overhear.
I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her I wouldn't be able to understand a thing Shizune is saying, and vice versa. It's also why she signs all the time, so there is never a conversation Shizune will be left out of.
Anyway, we should start on the problems now, Hee-chan.
We finish them with time to spare, and I decide to ask if there are any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly, the food has so far been subpar. This sends Shizune and Misha arguing among themselves about their favorite restaurants. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we'd have time to go all the way there. And what about the bill? Are they arguing just for the fun of it? Maybe. They seem so distracted by it and they don't even notice that it's the start of the actual lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break, socializing, gossiping, rearranging desks. The ones with actual box lunches mixed in and chattering like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. But when I watch Hanako, it feels like I'm the only one who can see her, almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class on her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom's rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I started watching her. I guess she's waiting for someone. What to do? Ooh, here we go. We'll just save that again. Alright, do we talk with Hanako or do we ignore her and read our book? Or just read the book. I don't know if we actually ignore her. Big stretch. Talk to her? We could talk to her. We could try and go down her route. Maybe see what she's... See why she's burned. Why are you burned, girl? I want to know. Okay, let's talk to her. I feel bad for making her run away yesterday, so I feel like I should say something. Hey there, Hanako. Hisao? Well, at least she remembers my name. Hey, I just wanted to apologize for yesterday. I didn't mean to startle you or anything. I'm just new here and I thought I should get to know my classmates. As Hanako looks up at me, I notice her scarring once more. It's a little bewildering that you can barely notice it from across the room, but it's so visible close up, noticeable close up. Talk. Words. That's okay. It was my fault. No, that wasn't anyone's fault. It just kind of happened. So are you waiting for someone? I saw you looking at the door before. Yeah, Lily. Oh, you mean Lily the blind girl? Hanako only nods in response. I can't help but wonder if defining people through their disabilities is a faux pas of the worst kind or just normal here. I'm sure there's plenty of blind people. It's just like saying the brown guy. I guess that explains why Lily took off after her yesterday. She seems like a nice girl. Are you two friends? Friends. Yeah. As if hoping for Lily to appear, she checks over her shoulder again. It's like a Lord of the Ring title. As if hoping for Lily to appear, she checks over her shoulder again. Lily the Blind. Gandalf the Grey, Lily the Blind. It's just totally legit. I think I'm making her nervous again. I hope I'm not disturbing you right now. No, that's not it. He's Sal, the heartless one. Here we go. It's just easier if Lily doesn't come here. Oh, because it's hard to get around the classroom? Not really. Hanako's gaze drifts past my shoulder and towards Shizune. Shizune? Hanako nods again. What about her? Don't they get along? Hanako shakes her head. Clearly this is something she doesn't want to talk about. It makes a strange sort of sense, Shizune and Lily not getting along so well. Communication between those two would be all but impossible. It's hard enough talking to Shizune through Misha, but even when you can't see whose hands are quote-unquote talking? Hanako is so focused on Shizune that I am the first to notice Lily at the door. Oh, she's here now. Hanako spins around to confirm this. Upon seeing Lily, she moves quickly to the door. Lily. Oh, Hanako. Good morning. Is the president here? Yes. Hanako glances over her shoulders at Shizune again, as if to confirm she can't hear them, even though that's impossible. I suppose we'd best be off then? Lily's sigh and tone of what seems like frustration makes me raise an eyebrow. I guess there's some kind of enmity between the two. It's intriguing, but it's not really something I'd ask about. I'm sure if they wanted me to know, they'd tell me. It's only my third day here. I should be trying to make friends, not finding out why people are enemies. Still, it's funny to find out that this school has little feuds just like my old high school. Even if people are more tolerant than others, they're still going to get on each other's nerves. Hey Lily, how are things? Sorry I made you run off yesterday. Oh my, is that Hisao? I didn't realize you were here. It seems that Lily is a little embarrassed about being so frank in front of me. Sorry, Lily. I thought you realized. No, it's alright, Hanako. Hisao, please don't worry about yesterday. It was just a misunderstanding. If you say so, I'm still working this place out. Well then, I think you'll find most people here are a lot more forgiving than elsewhere. If you feel a little confused, please don't be afraid to ask questions. Sure, I'll remember that. Lily? Lily gives a small nod of acknowledgement. I'm so sorry, Hisao. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hisao, but we must be off. Hanako really doesn't look all that comfortable here right now, and Lily still seems a little embarrassed. I wonder if my apologies really made any impact. Mind if I accompany you two? I know I'm kind of pushing it. Lily hums quietly, still smiling. I'm sure that we could accommodate you, can't we, Hanako? She looks at Lily, then at me, and then she freezes wide-eyed. Sure. Well then, shall we go? I'm sure Lily wouldn't do this easily if she saw how scared Hanako looks, but it can't be helped now. Declining after the deal is sealed would only cause confusion and problems. So we leave, all three together. Lily walks beside the wall, letting her cane gently tap against it every now and then. Hanako comes along right beside her, so close that she's practically half hugging her as they go. Although it must make her walking that much harder, Lily takes it in stride. As we turn around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a steam train. Hanako shrieks a little, and my vision briefly goes black. Ouch. Who are you cosplaying as that, as if you are really cosplaying? This is Hisao. This is what he looks like sometimes, kind of. Vaguely. Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. Second best girl. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and has now fallen down onto the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and has a very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on a lunch break. More striking than that, though, is that she doesn't have legs. Or she does, but they're not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs end in shins and feet made of some black material, metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural, and almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl winces a little and rubs her nose and jumps. Aw man, hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry. She's looking really apologetic, in the hurt puppy way of looking apologetic. I quickly forget about being angry or anything, since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay, don't worry about it. Ouch. I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest, and I know that this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself, don't forget your medication, and most of all, don't get hit in the chest. I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. Seems normal. Hey, should I get a nurse? The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded, and realize that I probably looked worse off than I really was. Doubled over myself, looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. No need, I'm fine. Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time, and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me. Big time. But it's nothing more than that. You sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard. It's okay. I said I was fine. Nothing's broken. No harm done. That's good. Hisao, what happened? She's not quite up to speed for obvious reasons, but she sounds very worried. More than what the situation deserves, really. Someone bumped into me. Nothing serious, just winded. Sorry, that was my fault. I was just going to get some stuff and I was kind of in a hurry. That someone here is Emmy, isn't it? The little girl coughs quietly and shuffles her plastic or metal feet, looking down at them before saying anything. Hi, Lily. Hanako. I guess the girls know each other. Do please try to be more careful. You might be sturdy enough to endure these sorts of accidents, but there are people who can't, who aren't. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I find myself smiling. I know that. I was just, I gotta go. Teacher'll have my head. I promised to help with printouts, but I went running instead. Sorry, I gotta change and everything. Before any of us can say a thing, Emmy has already bolted away, leaving the hallway eerily quiet. Does that kind of thing happen often around here? There are more rules in Yamaka than usual for running in corridors. But that rarely stops Emily, it seems. Emmy! God. She shakes her head weakly and offers a slight composed smile. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop her, I'm afraid. Shall we be off then? Lily heads off along the hallway and Hanako hurries after her. The route to the room the two used for tea is fairly simple to retrace, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go about their business of making lunch. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with her thermos and tea bags as Hanako is setting out both their lunch boxes. So, is this what you meant by coming here almost every day? Yes, Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we end up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reactions to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why that is a boon. What? A boon? That and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I think that means quiet time, whatever. I take my seat last after Lily's poured tea for us and sit down. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think about how they're a perfect foil to Misha and Shizune. Without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is the soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. How are you faring in Yamako, Hisao? You sound a bit flustered before. Whoa, you changed your hair a bunch. Yeah, hi, Isney. Actually, you came at perfect timing, because I tried to make my hair look like this guy right here. Hisao. He's the main guy who we play as. This is also good timing because I have to go to the bathroom and I need to refill my water again because water is good. There it is. Yeah, I put work into this to make it look like that. I even got this part of the hair. It sticks up nice and sticky uppy. If you can kind of see that. Okay, I'll be back. Okay. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, what is chat talking about here? Oh my god, Flea. Why did you wake up early to watch this anyways? There's no reason to wake up at 8 a.m. for a stream. You're mad. Alright, I don't know if I read this, so I'm gonna read it again. So, how are you faring in Yamaku, Hisao? You seemed a bit flustered before. Apart from getting lost every now and again and being crash tackled outside my classroom? Fine, I guess. You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? Oh my god, the sun came into your window and you heard a bird, so you checked the time and saw the Twitch notification. For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, and then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even though they've been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled. Judging from the two girls' expressions, I don't even think that they're buying it. But in what I consume as their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess that's one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things that they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in this school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Hmm. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Anako joined at the start of high school as well, and moved into the dormitories when she did, if memory serves me right. That's right, since high school. So you've known each other since then? The shy girl always looks sad. She does. Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them, though I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in that as well. I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scars. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. It wasn't long before the bells are signaling the end of the break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunch as efficiently as they set them out. I guess I'd better be off. Are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako? Hanako looks up at me for a second, and I can see that she has considered skipping class, maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me. Y- yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. Hanako really is delicate to the point of breaking if looked at in the wrong way. It makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then. Class has already started. Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane, Hanako and I filing out before her. The girl on the right looks like Tsuyu Frappi from My Hero Academia. Yeah, this is Hanako. She's scared. But yeah, she does look a little bit like Tsuyu. We quickly walk down the empty halls to our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns towards me. Hisao, thank you. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. She's always scared. Look at her. My pleasure, Lily. And with that, we part ways. Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and me off to our own. She's still looking like she wants to run away. So you really would just want to go to class now? Yes. Okay then. I feel like I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that should be appropriate and safe enough. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. The teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There is definitely something going on here. We make our way to our seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if it's some form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of this school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbook from my bag and start catching up. The class goes on quietly. The teacher seems like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects everyone to be a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there's still a lot of time left in the day and that I'm left wondering what I should do. It's odd. At this hospital, I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto is examining the assignment sheets we were working on from earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing. Just thinking about what I'd do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he's holding, and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No, I consider joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me want to take the words back to avoid a conversation, but I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about. The disabilities, it's like, it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone even if they're blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He says the same thing as Yuko did. But I know they're right. It's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively, enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts toward the teacher's desk with a bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general slumps in his chair. Mikado? Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly as if she's sensing from his tone that there's something wrong but has no idea what. Yeah? We've talked about volume control before. Yeah! But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress! She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood! Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted to get more, there was only a little. But that time we just took it all and went with it. Now there's like none left there. So do you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? Shi-chan, I mean, the president thought that a teacher would know if there's some plywood. Was she wrong? Muto looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. Looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there is any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there is any. Oh, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya? I'm sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time, we're so busy. She holds her head with both her hands, looking as despairing as if it's possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. Very descriptive violence. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we're falling behind schedule. Muto looks at her gravely, then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. Brutal! I wonder if you could get some temporary help. Uh-oh. It's us. He switches to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression as if trying to say, go make friends. I guess I could give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Hee-chan. You're really nice. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping, ah! Looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hee-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh, no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hee-chan? No, I'm not. Is Hee-chan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. God, Misha. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel like I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So, what do you need? Here's the list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Hee-chan. Try to be quick. We're in a stall building streak now, and we must hurry, hurry, hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a sigh. Timing. I did that not even thinking. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher. Wow, that alliteration. I exit to the hallway. The classroom closest to ours is designated belongs to the classrooms 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, 3-4 on the left, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room, a thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corner, so at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody home? Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Rin! Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform, with a fork between her toes, a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me back even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in the corner very still, but I somehow took her as part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. Oh, jeepers. You mean you don't like to eat with your feet like this?
What?
The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me with her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think of if I should. Why don't you give her a hand? Oh, oh, snap. I think after this, after we meet Rin and all that, I'm gonna end the stream because my throat is dying, and it'll be a good time to end it. I was gonna aim for 4 hours, so 3.5 should be good. I didn't read that. Whoops. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. What kind of voice does Rin get? I think she should have like a kind of average-ish voice, more like Hisao than the rest. All right. Hello? This girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth, now staring at me expectedly, while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there'd be someone in here. There isn't. That's why I came too. I don't know what voice to give for her. Hey, thank you for the follow, Sandami. Glad you're enjoying this nonsense. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false. You're pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you? This girl's pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai, Hisao Nakai, just transferred in on Monday. I'm Rin, Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That's very nice. I must have missed something. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether or not she's joking about shaking hands or not. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. While I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me and now is gazing yearningly back at her food. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day. What word would you use then? There's no word for meal, the meal you eat after lunch but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm in a hurry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin picks up the fork between her toes with at least as much impoliteness as she points it straight at me. So, Nakai, what brings you to this place? That can't be comfortable. Like I said, I was just told to look for these things. No, the school. From outside you look fine. Is your problem inside? I come to a full stop, opening my mouth not getting a word out. I can guess. I'm good at guessing. Better than most people. Rin cuts me off before I answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't really told anyone about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is part of the social code here, as the teacher said. Okay, it hasn't come up, but earlier you thought you were gonna die, so... I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overtly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answers were written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other. I don't think it's anything in your head, and something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. The problem must be in your pants. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I might have reeled back, even physically, as Rin's eyes widened in relative astonishment.
So I was right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there?
Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing that I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem, arrhythmia. Good God. I said it. More like blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and glowers at me, looking very disappointed. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with this reaction? Sorry to let you down? I forgive you. Just, I collect people, and a person with, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people? People with different problems. Huh, so you just, go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies, but I keep thinking about what she said. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition, and the other people have either known about it already or heard about it from someone else. Or didn't need to know about it like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disabilities would define us. What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. Probably more like it. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Her hair is burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs whenever she eats. The distance and shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see this sight would... Whoops, skip that. Don't worry about it. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins for shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. Hey, so do you always eat alone and this late, or do you get the occasional visitor? Visitors? Maybe you're my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof, if she's not horsing around. Horsing? She likes to do sports. Oh, and that's all I can think of to say. Both of us fall silent again, and Rin forks the last bits of her meal to her mouth. I look down at my haul, double-check what with Misha's list. Seems I have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things now. That's very nice of you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you're going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping. Not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel that our relationship is at this point good enough to warrant this much. Rin is mid-tier? Listen here, bud. Look at this girl. She's perfect. I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine, then I'm Hisao. Then you are. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone skips the text too quickly. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times, and I can't figure out why a pause like this just popped between us out of nowhere. I'll see you later, Hisao. There's something like a tiny smile on her face, maybe. She's pretty interesting, that's for sure. I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whispered to myself, what an intriguing person. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here. I know I said it would probably be like a half hour more, but 10 minutes is a half hour. Are we starting the waifu war already? I think a couple of us have already played some of this game and know the characters. But we gonna do it again. Alright, so we're stopping here. I will save. There we go. And you've never even heard of this game? Oh boy. It is the game by Fortune, Katawa Shoujo. And this is us down here, Hisao. It's a very good session. Just over 3 hours. That's pretty good. We've not really finished everything, but that's okay. Let's see if there's anybody to raid. Oh, Logart's playing. Yeah, 3 hours and 9 minutes. Yes, let us raid Logart. He's a cool dude. He's playing Beat Saber. Uh, there he is. Okay. Um, next stream will totally be tomorrow at the exact same time. So that is 11 a.m. Eastern, noon Atlantic, if you're on those times. Probably be about the same thing. We're just gonna keep going every day as far as we can. If the roofers are here and they're loud as heck, I am not going to be streaming though. So, but otherwise, we'll come back tomorrow. And yeah. Oh, hold on. You've probably seen my Discord pop up here many times, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, I always post when I'm going live there too, just in case. Alright, so I'll raid Logert, so let him know I say hi, and I will see you guys all tomorrow.